Welcome back to Filed to Founder Conference. In the previous part of Module 5, we understood the basics of fundraising in agri startups, why funding is important, and how it fuels growth from idea to execution. Now in this second part, we are going one step deeper. Today, we will talk about how to actually raise funds for your agri startup. We'll cover different funding sources, how investors think, and what they really look for before investing in your idea. If you are someone WHO has an idea, or you are already working on your startup but struggling to get funding, then this session is going to be extremely valuable for you. By the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of where to find the right investors, how to approach them, and how to increase your chances of getting funded. So let's get started and move one step closer to turning your idea into a successful startup. Part 5. When are you ready to raise funds? The right time. Ask yourself these questions honestly. Do I have a working product or service? IT shouldn't just be an idea on paper. Do I have paying customers? People are actually paying for what you offer. Can I show demand clearly? Can you demonstrate that there's a need for your product service? Do I know my unit economics? Do you understand how much it costs to acquire a customer and how much profit you make from each customer? We'll cover this later. Field traction matters. In agriculture, real-world results are more important than a fancy presentation. Investors want to see evidence that farmers are adopting your solution. Can you explain your business simply? If you can't explain your business in a way that a farmer or a non-expert investor can understand, you are not ready. Part 6. How much money should you raise? Be disciplined. Raise only what you need for 12 to 18 months of runway, enough money to cover your expenses for the next year or year and a half. Clear milestones, specific goals that you want to achieve with the money. Raising too much too early reduces discipline, you become less careful about spending money. Creates pressure, investors expect you to grow very quickly, which can be stressful. Leads to waste, you might spend money on things you don't really need. Small, focused rounds are healthier. It's better to raise smaller amounts of money as you need it, rather than raising a huge amount upfront. Part 7. Investor expectations. Reality check. What they really want. Investors expect clarity of problem. You clearly understand the problem you are solving for farmers. Strong team. You have a team with the right skills and experience. Honest numbers. You are transparent about your financials and market data. Learning mindset. You are willing to learn from your mistakes and adapt your approach. They do not expect perfection. No company is perfect. Massive scale immediately. They understand that growth in agriculture can be slow. The key investors understand that growth in agriculture might be slower than in other sectors, but they need to see that you are constantly learning and improving. Part 8. Common fundraising mistakes by agri founders. What to avoid. Raising before validation. Seeking funds before proving your business model. Ignoring unit economics, not understanding the cost and revenue associated with each customer. Overvaluing the company, asking for too much money for too little ownership. Chasing every investor, trying to get money from anyone who will listen. Hiding ground problems, not being honest about the challenges you are facing. Transparency builds trust. Be open and honest with investors about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Part 9. You can build without funding alternative paths. Partnering with FPOs, farmer-producer organizations, working with groups of farmers to access markets and resources. Revenue sharing, sharing a percentage of your revenue with partners, like retailers or distributors. Asset-light models, avoiding large capital investments, like buying expensive machinery. Instead, you might rent equipment or outsource certain tasks. Phased expansion, growing slowly and carefully, one region at a time. The most important thing, funding is optional. Sustainability is not. Focus on building a business that is profitable and environmentally responsible. Part thus, negotiating with investors. Valuation clarity, don't inflate numbers, justify with traction. Equity versus control, understand how much ownership you are giving away. Term sheets, read carefully, small clauses can have big consequences. Alignment, choose investors who share your vision, not just your need for money. Part 11. Post-funding responsibilities. Regular updates, keep investors informed with reports and calls. Accountability, spend money as promised, track milestones. Governance, be ready for board meetings and oversight. Relationship building, investors can open doors beyond money, nurture the connection. Part 12. Due diligence, what investors will check. Legal compliance, registrations, licenses, contracts. Financial records, clean bookkeeping and transparent accounts. Customer validation, proof that farmers or buyers are using your product. Team background, skills, credibility, and commitment. Scalability, can your model grow beyond one village or region? Part 13. Exit strategies, long-term view. Acquisition, larger agribusiness or tech company buys your startup. IPO, rare in agri-startups, listing on the stock exchange. Mergers, joining forces with another startup for scale. Sustainable independence, growing steadily without external exit pressure. Part 14. Mindset, founder resilience. Rejection is normal, most pitches fail, learn and iterate. Patience, agritech adoption takes time, investors respect persistence. Integrity, never exaggerate traction, credibility is your strongest currency. Balance, don't let fundraising distract from building the actual business. Part 15. Global versus local funding. Local investors understand rural realities but may have smaller ticket sizes. Global investors bring larger capital but expect scalability and compliance. Cross-border challenges, currency, regulations, and cultural differences. Hybrid approach, start local, then expand globally once traction is proven. Final module 5 outcome. You'll understand the fundraising process, when to raise money and when not to. The different types of funding. What investors expect. You'll be funding aware, you know your options. Not funding dependent, you are not desperate for money.